This is what many call the Palace of Speed. It's a beautiful place to be in the world. The Indianapolis Motor Speedway in Speedway, Indiana. They just hosted the Indianapolis 500, the greatest spectacle in racing. And tonight, East Coast Thunder has their own spectacle of racing. 200 laps, 500 miles, first one across the yard of bricks. We'll be able to say they won the Indy 500. We're glad you could join us here on Maconi Entertainment for a special East Coast Thunder action. Murray Scalo alongside Jeremy Briggs. You get a great look of the pagoda here. It's a beautiful place, Jeremy. This is a race every driver wants to win in the field. 12 of them have a chance tonight.
Good evening, Marty. Pleasure to be alongside you here on Maconi Entertainment. This is going to be an awesome night of racing. Who doesn't like to have an Indy 500 in their back pocket as a winner, whether it's in a hosted league or in an iRacing official? It's just great to have, as these drivers just wrapped up this past week running the real life Indy 500, like you said, and in the iRacing world. And then we're going to come back here one more time with East Coast Thunder and get us one more taste of how great this racing can be here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
You love to see it. Let's talk about the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Obviously a 2.5 mile rectangular shaped oval, opened in 1909. There's a reason people keep coming back to this racetrack every year for the Indy 500, Jeremy.
Yes, that's 2.5 mile, 4 turns. It's almost like it's got like 4 straightaways, because when you go through the turns, obviously they're kind of like little straightaways in my opinion. But as you can see, it's just a oval shape here, and this is going to be a great evening. And let's see, I think the drivers are just wrapping up qualifying, so the starting grid will be available here shortly, and we'll go through that. Great
opportunities available past here at IMS, that's for sure. Here's the starting lineup. Sheridan Wade is on the pole with a 39.431. Convert that somewhere around 220-30 miles an hour or so. To his outside, it's Jeremy Jukic in the number 28 out of California. A lot of Indiana boys here up near the front. Nate Fields, the number 57, starts for the third spot inside row 2. To his outside, Elijah Gilson in the 6. Row number 3, starting in the 5th position, Justin Hester, racing in the 77. To his outside, William Krushka in the 11. The 4th row, another New Yorker, Braden Howard in the 44. To his outside, Steve Tucker in car number 1. Rounding out the top 10, it's Raymond Kimmel in car number 12. To his outside, it's Will Stearns in the 306. And the final row for this 12-car field, Ray Lunning in the 34 and Trent Thompson in the 8. We get set to go for this race as the drivers start to take the grain, make sure their car is full of fuel, make sure they've got their adjustments set the right way for the qualifying setups to the race setups. Jeremy, what are your keys to the race tonight?
We'll have to see how these drivers play it out with having a kind of a small field, but strategists can play, and I believe fuel window is roughly 30-ish or under 30 laps. So we'll see how these drivers decide to play with the draft, try to save fuel, or go to the front and just lead the way. But anything can happen. The pit road is very treacherous. You don't want to get any penalties. You don't want to slide through your pit stall. And getting 4 tires, getting a full tank of fuel, and getting back out on the track in a smooth, clean fashion, I believe, is one of the key to tonight's race.
Look at your race analysis here, brought to you by Maconi Setup Shop. Our setups here, victories here. Again, obviously 200 laps, 500 miles. No fast repairs for the drivers. So in a 3.5-hour race, patience is a huge name in the game. Unlimited tire changes as well for the drivers. Fuel window as normal, 30 to 35 laps as the field paces their way into turns number 1 and 2. Of course, those fuel stops can absolutely make or break your Indy 500. Well, we had earlier on this evening, Jeremy, you were on the call for Maconi Setup Shop Fast Friday. Hopefully, we don't see what we saw on that race just a couple of hours ago. Hopefully, we get a couple of long runs, and they're going to have a much faster Indy 500 than a 50-lap show.
Yeah, I think we might be able to do that here tonight. These drivers, obviously in a league, they usually do put on a better show. Usually. Hopefully we don't do another commentator's jinx like we've been doing all night long in that race earlier, as the drivers were in that Maconi Setup Shop race there, the monthly Fast Fridays. One of the drivers took home that $150 prize. Great to see it. Maconi Setup Shop giving back like that. So Once again, back here to this East Coast Thunder, though. Right here, back at Indianapolis. Track conditions a little bit warmer. I believe track temperature right now is 122 degrees. We'll have to keep an eye on that throughout this event.
So the field is in the North Chute. Bunch of drivers moving to the inside. Some drivers starting from the pits. The field makes their way off for turn 4. We'll see the iRacing pace truck head to pit road. This, and it always will be, the greatest spectacle in all of auto racing. The pace truck is on pit road. Barney's got the green flag in hand. The Indianapolis 500 is set to go here. It's showtime at the Brickyard.
So we got all 11 drivers barreling into turn 1 here. Got to be extremely careful on those exits. Oh, almost a little bit of contact there, about 7 cars back. Let's see how they get out of turns 1 and 2 and down this backstretch with that draft.
Sheridan Wade coming away with the advantage. Now here comes Jeremy Jukic around the outside. They're side by side for the lead. Always tough to do in IndyCar. Jukic has to lift because of it. We got one in the wall already.
Oh.
And that's the 77 of Justin Hester. Right front is gone. His Indy 500 within seconds has come to a conclusion. One car out of this one. First driver across the line, leading lap number 1. Give it to the 28 of Jukic. Actually, correction, the 54 of Sheridan Wade, but a big lead change here coming across the line, Jeremy. Whoa, look out, close call there.
Yes, I believe that was Wade or Jukic.
That was Jukic in the number 28. Yes. Apologies if I forgot that pronunciation incorrect, but trying to get a little bit too high there. Going into the North Chute just didn't work out for him, and now losing some time early.
One thing some of these drivers might have not done well in practice is practice being around other cars being behind them. So you're going to be extremely careful on these exits so you don't oversteer, right into that wall. As we saw that driver already ending their night. Hope to see the rest of these drivers play that strategy of just being smooth and smart and just pouncing at the end when it matters.
Absolutely. Drivers did have the opportunity as well today to be a part of our open practice session during the afternoon. I took a quick look. We saw a handful of drivers on in there, maybe a third of the field. We got one off the pace. That's the 12 of Raymond Crummell. And it looks like the left front may have locked up on his 12, and his night may have come to an end.
Unfortunately, that is 2 drivers out, just 3 laps into this 200-lap event. Hopefully drivers in the field are taking note. As you can see, the snake effect down the straightaways, just trying to break that draft. Just typical racing here at Indianapolis with the Indy cars. It's just another one of those features that are just pretty much, you see it every time now that we come here to Indianapolis, just that snake effect down these straightaways. As we continue to look through this field, I believe we've got 10 cars still on the lead lap.
Absolutely. If this race gets tight down to the end, you'll see a lot of snaking taking place. Remember, cold tires here, so drivers have to take it really easy here when they're driving through the corners. Of course, drivers have the chance as well to use their tools throughout the portion of this race.
Besides those couple incidents we had right there, pretty much everybody's single file right now. A nice gap between everybody. Smooth and steady, like I said, wins the race. We're on lap 5. We got 195 to go. We want to be there at the end.
Let's
we've got all these drivers, 8 drivers right now within 5 seconds of each other.
Let's go to a couple of replays here. Let's first watch the 77 Justin Hester and what happened to him. This was going to turn number 3. Hester in the draft just got really tight there. Punched too much of dirty air and just got up in the wall, ended his day. Here's another one for you, Raymond Crummell now. This was coming off turn number 2 out of the South Chute. This is very interesting to see what happened. It didn't spin out. Just got same tight and just poked the wall. Oh, you can see it just damaged the right front, the upper control arm damaged on his ride, and that put his Indy 500 to an end. So again, you got to be very careful early on. You don't want to have your race come to an end early, or else you'll be in the pits for a little bit of a while, or maybe even at worst could have a terminally damaged race car end your night. We got a battle for third here. Jeremy Jukic with company from Steve Tucker.
That's the fellow Jeremy Jukic out there. Looks like getting some pressure now from that number 1. Now in that draft, probably going to try and slingshot. No, decides to just hold it steady. Be patient. Don't make any stupid moves, silly moves right here at the beginning of this race. Just keep using that draft. Now he's within striking range with that draft. That'll help those two drivers maybe potentially catch up to the leaders.
Tucker just trying to follow the slipstream, takes a peek downstairs, gonna get the third spot into turn number 3. Big defense from Jukic in turn 3 up into the north chute. Now the 28 hanging on for right now.
Jukic with a great defense. That top lane usually does have a good defensive strategy as Tucker to the outside makes that pass happen with that draft.
The third spot is his. Trying to make his move a little bit late. Had an odd angle at it too at the same time. Going to turn number 3. Tucker rebounded, got the slipstream in, and he's going to take the spot away. Right now it's Sheridan Wade out in front in the Indy 500. 7/10 of a second advantage on Elijah Gilson in car number 6. Take a ride on board here for a lap with the number 6 car and show you what it's like around Indy. You can see the lowest the drivers are going 217. Some drivers here reaching the top of 232. Will Stearns earlier on, Jeremy, was hitting 237 for his trap speed.
Whew. Top speeds with that draft is we got almost a 3-car battle back here just behind this second play. Oh, we got one off the track.
And that was Tucker in the one, able to save it luckily, gets into the runoff area.
Got too much gas in it.
Yeah, very close call for the driver of the one. We'll get a replay here to show you what just happened.
Got a lot of loose right there, and fortunately, was able to find that runoff. Yep, just snaps loose. Does a good job locking it down. Avoids wall contact. Unfortunately, those tires are probably unhappy, but the car is still in one piece and still trying to come out here and battle for the next 190 laps.
Yeah, I'm not too sure if I want to say this here, Jeremy, but it looked like he was maybe a little bit too low on corner exit, or maybe a little too high on corner exit, I should say, which just got the rear end to freak out a little bit and got his car a little bit sideways. Let's go back to third. Nate Fields trying to make a move. Underneath in turn number 3, approach the north chute. Can he take it? Jukic so good on corner exit right now, but the 57 able to clear. He moves up to third.
The 28 is falling off about halfway through this, almost halfway through this first run. We're just trying to save a little bit of fuel. Maybe go a little bit longer than these leaders that are kind of spread apart right now and driving away. Is the leaders right now, Wade and Gilson, have basically a 5-second lead over the rest of them.
That's a phenomenal point. You definitely as well, Jeremy. You got 6 pit stops at least in this Indy 500. For a 500-mile race. Fuel window, like we mentioned, about 30 to 35 laps. So if you're a guy like Sheridan Wade, you're foot to the floor, not really saving as much fuel as you are for a guy like maybe Elijah Gilson, or even in this battle for third, both Fields and Jukic have been trading the positions here. That's really been the case. Brendan Howard now approaching the 28, so I wonder if Jukic is on fuel-saving mode here.
Patience is the virtue. Drivers, some of them not having as much force in it, but a lot of these drivers right here now starting to show, this is the time to just lay back, just let it happen, be smart, be smooth, save where you can. If you can't beat them on raw speed, if you can beat them on pit stops, have a couple of seconds to add up throughout the race and put you right there at the end.
Remember, these Dallara IR18s also have a couple different fuel maps. When you're using fuel map 1, obviously that's the most power that comes out of that hybrid Honda or Chevrolet engine, but if you're using maybe like a 2 or a 3, you're using less and less power, affecting the fuel mixture, which is making it a little bit leaner.
And if I was Wade right now, Wade or Gilson, I'd probably switch my maps right now. I'm looking at the times and they're just driving away. They're really good right now.
Yeah,
Nate Fields is one driver they'll probably want to keep our eyes on, though. He seems to be kind of creeping into it.
Yeah, they're working 41.5s, 41.6s. Nate Fields, in fact, quickest car last time by at a 41.4. The rest of the drivers just about 42s and above. You look at the last lap times on your screen and how the drivers are running at the moment. So they could go on fuel map 2. But it makes me think as well, the top 2, really have something set up for this Indy 500 in particular.
Yes, they definitely know how to handle this track. Doing a great job right now. Just pulling away very slightly between the two of them.
Let's
it
see.
does look like, though, we do have a battle here for 4th and 5th starting to brew.
Yeah, again, it's back to Jukic, and it's Braden Howard all over him on board with the number 44 Delara. Let's take a ride on board here as he comes across the yard of bricks. Big slipstream coming.
Just takes it right to the outside. Power move, no hesitation, makes that pass happen. Oh, wait. Runs a little high there.
Oh, he caught the wall. I don't see anything damaged off the number 44. What makes you think with an impact like that, could that may have damaged the toe link? No. Howard getting right back in it. Look at this. After clipping the safer barrier, makes the move for 4th rather.
Jukic right now kind of backing right up, running 42 flats. Everybody else seems to be a half a second faster.
Again, to making that 28 say, just trying to keep her safe than sorry. You know, obviously we don't have the opportunity to show you what the field maps are or what the drivers see in the cars, but you can see, go to the turn 1 there, Jeremy. That car just entered a little bit higher. That car seems like it wants to dart up the track compared to others, and he just clips the wall once again. We just heard the contact.
Ooh, extremely close to that wall, really close. It's so hard on these exits when you're really tight like that. Try to keep it off the wall. You don't want to put too much wheel in it because you're going to spin out, but if you don't put enough wheel in it, you're in the wall. And obviously you're trying to carry as much speed as you can on the straightaways, and when that happens on the exit, it just kills your straightaways.
Here's Tucker in the number 1, trying to rebound after getting loose in the south chute just moments ago, trying to close in on William Krushka. That's the closest battle we have on track for the 7th spot. You see Krushka, very weird snake going across the start-finish line, trying to break that draft.
Obviously right now it seems like Steve Tucker might be pacing to be a little bit faster, especially now in that draft. We'll see how he rebounds, as he was definitely moving through the field earlier before that incident. So even though his tires got a little upset, he's doing a pretty good job as we're getting pretty close to this first fuel stop.
Absolutely. We're 17 laps complete here in the Indianapolis 500 for East Coast Thunder. And again, fuel window around lap 30, lap 35. Let's compare the lap times here between Krushka and Tucker if we can. You can easily tell that the number 1, the faster car, picked him 2/10 that last time by Jeremy. And man, look how sideways they're getting off for 1.
Whew. Man, I don't know how these drivers are doing it now. You can definitely tell that the fuel load's changed, tires are hot. And yeah. Definitely a lot changing at the front right now with the lap time. We'd love to see what they're playing with. I bet you they're doing their maps now. Everybody's trying to, all right, we're halfway through this run. Let's start saving a little bit of fuel so we got less to put in and get out of there.
Yeah, they can definitely feel that for sure as Tucker gets a little bit sideways going off turn number 4. Nearly loses the rear end of his number 1 with the Firestone tires. He's able to hang on to it. Meanwhile, it's Sheridan Wade in the number 54, currently out in front. Just about 1 second the gap between him and Elijah Gilson. We're going to step aside, take our first break of the night. When we come back, it's Green Flag Pit Stops. Stay with us as you're watching live coverage of East Coast Thunder's Indy 500 on Maconi Entertainment.
I highly recommend it. You won't find anybody as good as Jam Printing.
Jam is a friendly and professional company that just doesn't do print to make sure that you grow and your business grows to the next level.
They are a very community-focused organization. They donate to every event in the area.
Every time I hand out one of Jam's printed materials, I get a ton of compliments, and that's the power of Jam printing.
One thing with Jam is it is a veteran-owned company, and that really resonates with me.
Jam Printing is like no other. Their dedication to customer service is amazing.
If you're looking to amp up your marketing, Jam Printing and Promotions is the place to go.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Good battle for fifth as we welcome you back to live coverage of East Coast Thunder's Indianapolis 500. Marty Sakala alongside Jeremy Briggs with you on the call. Big congratulations as well. Before I forget, big congratulations to Rod Runemus Jr. on taking the victory in Maconi Setup Shop's Fast Friday mini race, which was Indy Cars at Indy. Steve Tucker, you saw it while we were side by side a little bit ago. He made his way back on the track after an accident. I think we got the replay here for you. Let's take a look and see what happened, Jeremy.
Yeah, let's take a look. One of the drivers that we were talking about, hopefully making a rebound, making it back through the field. Unfortunately, just got loose right there. I'm not sure if he got too low, but unfortunately did a good job not hitting anything, so might go down a lap. It looks like he did, yeah. Steve Tucker went down a lap, so it leaves us 7 cars on the lead lap.
I give him credit for keeping that one out of the inside barriers, or else could have ended his Indy 500, that's for sure. If you're watching, by the way, on Maconi Entertainment on YouTube, let us know who you're rooting for in the chat below. It's going to be a long night tonight, that's for sure. So we want to interact with you at home if you're watching live, whether you're a driver or family member or a big supporter of Maconi Entertainment and iRacing in general. Let us know who you're rooting for in the chat. Got a lot going on tonight on Maconi. Right now on the other side of Maconi, FLCC Friday Night Lights taking place. They've got 90 to go in Nashville with Bryson Hicksonbaugh winning in that one. So make sure you check that out. Make sure you watch 2 things at once. It's kind of like March Madness tonight, Jeremy.
Lots of racing action, and if you're in the northeast of the United States right now, there's a good chance that your track has been rained out tonight and you need something to watch. So if you're at home, appreciate you checking in tonight and just scrolling through whatever you maybe to have found yourself here.
Yes, you and I know that feeling very well. We're both from New York, so pit stops coming up here in this Indy 500 as Sheridan Wade continues to lead, 1.3 seconds on Elijah Gilson. Wade's been the class of the field early on here. He's led every lap in this 500, and Gilson trying to close in on him. But I don't know if that's going to be the case, but I think the advantage when it comes to pit stops is Gilson, because I don't know if he's been really foot to the floorboard, if he's used a different field map or what, but Gilson could have a slight advantage when it comes to pitting.
One of the drivers I think that'll have to pit first is the Fields machine of Nate Fields. He's been on a tear. He was 5 seconds back at one point, now we're 2.6. There's a little bit of smoke there off that turn. Not sure if somebody got loose. Must be somebody got loose there, but everybody seems to be still rolling right now. But yeah, as I was saying about Nate Fields, he seems to be just on the march, coming back from 5 seconds back and looking to maybe potentially grab position number 2. But like you said, pit stops just around the corner.
Quickest lap of this race so far, by the way, Jeremy. 41:23. Last time by. Here we go for pit stops. Sheridan Wade, the first one on pit road, locks them up. Remember, pit road speed about 55, 60, about 60 miles an hour or so. Remember, something you don't normally see on our Maconi Entertainment broadcast. Obviously, it's a thing in IndyCar. Drivers do have the pit limiters, so it's no excuse to be speeding on pit road.
It's just precisely engaging that limiter at the right time. You don't want to do it too early because you're not going faster than you need to be, or as you could, but if you do it too late, you're going to be going too fast on pit road. And like you said, Marty, there's a button to press. There should be no reason for you speeding. In and out. We're going to watch this driver blend back in. We'll have to see how the rest of the pits shake out. As Wade was our leader, you can tell that he had the pit first, so with being out front.
9.7 second stop. His teammate Nate Fields brings his 57 ride onto pit road. Oh, big crash at the attenuator. I think that's Stearns and Krushka. Or no, correction, Ray Lenning it was. Lenning and Jukic. And we got one upside down flipping in the background.
Up on the track still.
That was Jukic.
Oh, yellow.
My, oh my. And no caution. We stay under the green flag. What on earth just happened?
We'll have to take a look at that. That was pretty crazy, the reaction to what those cars were doing. They were upside down, so there was obviously some big impacts.
There was contact off the attenuator. Watch Lenning here. That's Jukic right behind. Someone said they may have pitted or somebody locked up the brakes. Let's see what happened. They're coming off turn number 4. Oh, just both coming in late and just a much slower speed, and ouchies. And watch Jukic go for a wild ride here. Just continuing to flip.
Man, oh man. You know, I'm not going to lie, that looked a lot like the Fast Fridays that we were having earlier. Just a lot going on. Sometimes we just lose the handle. And man, oh man, the two closest cars on the track seem to find each other right there.
Watch Jukic. Coming in with a much rate of faster speed and just ramps over the tire, does a kick flip off the attenuator, and up and over he goes. And then watch this. And then just watch, wait for this. Because of the physics here of IndyCars and iRacing, the way you flip just kept flipping.
Just kept on flipping. Bounce around. So it looks like we got 4 cars left on the lead lap right now.
By the way, pit stops are still happening. Gilson just brought his number 6 on. A 10-second stop. So by that, there's Sheridan Wade. He's going to turn number 1 right now. So the number 54 should reclaim the race lead. Will be a good battle here. Coming off pit road here through turns 2. The 54 back out in front. If you're wondering where Nate Field is, just in the center of turn 2. He had a slower stop than Gilson, 10.2. Again, that's Will Stearns in the number 3. Oh, Steve Tucker in the one behind him. He's the first driver a lap down. Remember something to keep in mind here for those that aren't normally IndyCar followers. No free passes from what I recall here in this race, but that's the normal thing as well in the 500-mile race.
Yes, just like in the real life. Go lap down, you lose it. You got to pass them the old-fashioned way, whether it's via strategy or with some just raw speed or caution luck. Right now, the way this is trending, this is pretty wide open. And the 2 closest cars, like we said, just wrecked. So now the field is pretty spread out. The field has lost a little bit of time on that pit strategy.
Yes, the field definitely spread out here. So that's the looks here. Sheridan Wade, your race leader, by 1 second on Elijah Gilson. Closest battle on the track. Nate Fields currently runs in 3rd. The 4th spot, Braden Howard, the 4 drivers on the lead lap. Steve Tucker rounds out your top 5 in 5th. Jeremy Jukic runs in 6th. Will Stearns is the 7th place car. Ray Lenning out of the race in 8th. William Krushka still on pit road in 9th. Not too sure why. He's been on the pits for over 10 minutes. 3 drivers we know are out of the race. Raymond Kimmel, Justin Hester, and Trent Thompson. But we're 33 laps down here in this East Coast Thunder Indy 500. Sheridan Wade, your race leader once again. We'll step aside and go to break. We'll go side by side once again. If trouble breaks out, we'll break it. Stay with us on Maconi Entertainment.
X terms are equal. The graphs of the 2 lines will be parallel.
You ready to get out of here? Let's go. Come on. Lincoln Tech, the school for people who hate school.
When you want to be the best, you can't settle for the rest. For anything on iRacing, there's just one name you need, Maconi.
With the launch of Maconi Entertainment and Maconi Competizone alongside Maconi Setup Shop, we now provide the best of the best in setups, paint schemes, coaching, broadcasting, and event organization.
With cars across all 4 license classes, we have what you need to hit the track with confidence. Grab a subscription and save money while going fast at MaconiSetupShop.com/subscriptions.
And remember, at Maconi Setup Shop, there are setups, but your victories.
A thriving job market and low cost of living, plus a wide range of veteran benefits, make Indiana the perfect place for veterans of the United States military to call home. InVets can help you find that home. We're an organization started by veterans to help former service members transition to civilian life in our state. InVets can help you find the community with the career opportunities, housing, schools, and amenities that fit your lifestyle. To learn more about InVets, visit us at invets.org today.
Back here in the East Coast Thunder Indianapolis 500, Martin Scala alongside Jeremy Briggs with you on Maconi Entertainment. On board with the 54 of Sheridan Wade, who's led just about every lap in this one that has not related to green flag pit stops. Elijah Gilson has been his closest competitor in second. There you see the number 6 behind him. You also got Nate Fields that's 57 in third, who's really been the class of the field right now, Jeremy. Late in a full 30-lap run before a pit stop happens.
Yes, Marty, like we were talking about during that quick commercial break, there was how Nate Fields fell back a little bit during that pit strategy, but we'll see how he bounces back. He was 5 seconds behind last time, got himself up to 2.5 seconds back before pit stops went away. Now only 4.5 seconds back this time. We'll see how he can march a little bit closer to the leader this time because he doesn't have a field to go through.
Closest battle still remains that battle for the lead between Wade and Gilson. Here's a look at these last 5 laps between your top two. Gilson slightly the quicker car and for the last 5, but hasn't been able to cut the gap significantly on his biggest adversary. Let's take a ride on board with Gilson for a lap here. See the top speed here going to turn number 1, a trap of 225 before downshifting to 5th. You can hear the car, you could hear the skid marks off the rear end, darting that car up in turn number 2 down the back. We'll see how the trap speed looks into turn 3. Just about 224 before downshifting to 5th.
Crazy to think that they shift over 200 miles an hour, but yeah, you got to use those 5th and 6th gears between the corners and the straightaways.
And that car sounds pretty good on the north end of the racetrack as we work lap number 42 of this 200-lap feature. Let's talk about the Indy 500 while we were at it here, Jeremy. We had definitely a, by the way, Gilson, for those wondering, quickest car on the racetrack last time by 41.21. So he is approaching that toe of Wade real quick.
Just starting to sneak into the picture. Maybe they find something out. Maybe they get something just right this time, this run. Tires lasting a little bit longer. Who knows?
Cut down a tenth of a second that last lap. Remember, drivers have tools in their cars and car adjustments that they can make, whether it be weight jacker, anti-roll bars, fuel mapping, whatever it is. They can adjust that. It's cut the gap down to 0.8 of a second between Wade and Gilson. Fun Indy 500 last Sunday. It's insane the start that Alex Palou has had in 2025. He's only lost one race, and that was at Long Beach to Kyle Kirkwood, but just a huge win for him in the Indy 500. He can say his career has been fulfilled. A couple of IndyCar championships, but right now in Indy 500, that's the biggest one of them all.
Alex Palou right now is just on top of IndyCar. It's insane. You know, it just, sometimes the drivers just get everything right week after week between the setups, the crews, just everything works out just right. I mean, he's just on top. The Indy 500 was great to watch. It's always something I enjoy, especially because it's a Memorial Day weekend, and always that Sunday you just sit in front of the TV and just soak it all in, and just really excited to watch the Brickyard 400 here in a couple weeks.
Absolutely. Keep in mind as well that Brickyard 400 will be the finale for the NASCAR in-season tournament. We'll talk a little bit more about that later on as the race goes. But yeah, just a big win from Alex Palou. You know, a lot of us like me were probably hoping that we'd see a close battle come down to the final laps. We're hoping Palou and Ericsson would go at it, because like the Indy 500s here, I mean, these past few years, you look back to 2019, there's only been one Indy 500 that's come down to that did not come down to the wire. It came down a little bit earlier, and that was 2020 when Takuma Sato had pulled away from Scott Dixon in those final laps. Every other race from 2019 to 2024, it all came down to the final lap.
And it's pretty crazy to sit there and think year after year how close that margin of victory can be. And IndyCar just shows how these teams all prepare so much for those races, and between the strategy and how the event goes, that they can just find themselves just a nose width apart for the margin of victory, and it always comes out really good. But then again, you do have those one in a blue moons, or kind of like, I guess you'd call them normal finishes when it's spread out just a little bit more than normal.
Yeah, I think the last normal finish I'd have to say we had was, I would say in my opinion, 2018, when Will Power won the first Indy 500 with this current chassis. Obviously, it was tough to pass with being the first year of that new chassis. Also, the hot conditions really kind of affected it as well. What would you say, in your opinion, is your favorite Indy 500 or a finish as a whole?
Man, to be completely honest with you, Marty, I don't really have any type of favorite, I guess you could say. I do have a favorite memory of the day between the Indy 500 and the Coke 600. I cannot remember the driver's name off the top of my head, but they're driving the National Guard IndyCar.
Yeah, J.R. Hildebrand.
Yep, there we go, JR there, and he hit the wall, and he lost it in the last lap.
Yeah.
And then fast forward to the Coke 600, who runs out of fuel coming out of turn 4? The National Guard car.
Wade now the quickest car on track, just put up the fastest lap of this 500, 41.19. Has a little bit of a small toe right now on, I believe that's the 306 in front at Will Stearns. We have the map on your screen to help you out, show you who is still remaining on the racetrack. But yes, Hildebrand would have been the first rookie in a decade or so to have taken the Indy 500. I would have loved to see him take the checkered flag that day, but obviously now the most recent rookie to win the Indy 500, first yellow, is out. Steve Tucker in the one has crashed. That's his second, if not third, incident of the day, and this will make everything interesting now strategy-wise. Would expect all the drivers to come in for pit stops, but should you think long-term wise, should this race find a way to go green to the end, it could become a fuel mileage race.
I was just trying to do the math in my head, and I'm thinking, well, we're about 10 laps short of our next fuel window to be open up. So these drivers are definitely have to reverse flip the strategy a little bit on the rest of the race. See how they want to play it out as we take a look at the replay for Tucker here.
Yeah, I just lost it going to the north end. Luckily able to catch the binders, but I'm not sure if he came back on track while was at a slow rate of speed. And
that one car that went by right there, I think it was just close enough.
Yeah, I think iRacing had to trigger the caution there without question. Here's an onboard with Tucker.
We've seen Tucker a few times this evening, sideways through the turns, and just seems to be struggling with the entry to the center of the turn the most. Just keeps getting loose there. Does a good job saving it. I'll give him the credit.
Pit road is open. The leaders are all in.
The whole field's in.
Obviously, all the lead lap cars are in. The drivers are lapping beyond. I believe they have to win unless I'm thinking NASCAR here.
I do see a couple of drivers stayed out.
May try and get a wave around here. Sheridan Wade with a big advantage, obviously, as he has pit box number 1 for starting on pole. Makes his way on out. Good battle. Wade or Gilson. Wade edging out Gilson there. Compare the pit times. 8.3 for Wade and 8.4 for Gilson. Wade better all around there on that stop.
Real close. But
absolutely.
This is our first restart since the beginning of the race.
Absolutely. So Sheridan Wade, your leader, will step aside, take a break. When we come back, first restart of the Indy 500. Stay with us on Maconi Entertainment.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head to head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
When you want to be the best, you can't settle for the rest. For anything on iRacing, there's just one name you need, Maconi.
With the launch of Maconi Entertainment and Maconi Competizone alongside Maconi Setup Shop, we now provide the best of the best in setups, paint schemes, coaching, broadcasting, and event organization.
With cars across all 4 license classes, we have what you need to hit the track with confidence. Grab a subscription and save money while going fast at MaconiSetupShop.com/subscriptions.
And remember, at Maconi Setup Shop, there are setups, but your victories.
Getting ready to come back to green here in this Indianapolis 500, quarter of the way through. First caution flag waving for Steve Tucker, spinning in the north chute. Sheridan Wade, the race leader. Elijah Gilson, second. Nate Fields, third. Braden Howard, fourth. Jeremy Jukic in fifth. Will Stearns, sixth. Now with 6 drivers on the lead lap. Not pitting was Will Stearns. Jukic also able to pit, gain his lap back at the same time, so I believe he may have been the free pass car. Stearns taking a wave around to get back on the lead lap. His next stop expected on lap 59, so he's expecting a caution flag in the next few laps. We're set to come back to the green here in this Indy 500. Here we go.
Quick fire off there from Sheridan Wade. Elijah Gilson right there still in second. Nate Fields, the teammate to the leader, in third. Trying to get the Elijah Gilson machine out of that teammate sandwich.
Here we go for the race lead. Elijah Gilson peeks downstairs. Sheridan Wade, the 6 car to the point. Wade lets him go. Oh, but Gilson with a bobble there, approaching the north chute. Wade able to counter back. They're wheel to wheel off the corner. Wade hanging on to the top spot for right now.
Oh, here we go. Nice tight racing. That's kind of what I was excited for with that restart. 4 cars right here battling for the lead now. Everybody's trying to just keep it in the draft, stay within striking range. Obviously, we know some drivers on a different strategy are going to have to pit here in the near future. Oh, man, really close there off of turn 2 for the Fields machine.
I'd have to say that yellow may have actually benefited him. So he can close in on the top 2. Remember, we were talking about earlier here, Jeremy, how you could consider him a much faster car when it comes late into a full field run. But early in the run, he normally lays off a little bit.
I don't know if he's fuel mobbing different at the beginning of the run compared to everybody else. But for some reason, he just seems to be a lot faster at the end of the run and just has enough fuel. Ooh, a little loose right there, looks like. Enough fuel to run the same fuel strategy as everybody else.
Will Stearns, the 306, just took his pit stop. He makes his way back on the racetrack, but is 1 lap down, so was hoping for a gamble and unfortunately does not pay off. He luckily hogs in line just behind Fields and in front of Braden Howard. Howard can't be too pleased about this because he's just got to deal with a big hole he's got to deal with. But now the 306 of Stearns makes his way back onto pit road and he locks them up. And that may be his 500 right there.
Calling it a night there for the 306. Not sure if he got a penalty. Yep, he has exited the room, and that'll do it there for the 306 here tonight. That'll leave us with 6 cars on the track.
Half the field on is even. Has been eliminated from this Indianapolis 500, and we're only just past the quarter mark in this 500-mile race. Wade has increased the lead to 0.8 of a second on Elijah Gilson. It feels not too far behind in third as the field just about spread apart here. Now, how do you set this up here if your field's trying to close in on that number 6?
Oh, man. Just got to be so patient right here. You know you're going to be there faster at the end. Just use that draft your advantage when the time is right. And about 15 laps, we know that switch is going to get flipped. And he's going to be ready to rock and roll and hoping maybe be able to get around this number 6 machine and go up there and battle his teammate for the lead.
No, it could be a patient game at the same time as well, leaving that final 30-lap sprint to a sprint race. See how much you got it, but everyone's staying full throttle for right now. Gilson trying to close back in on the race leader, Sheridan Wade. Nearly got the lead from the 54 in that restart. Just went a little bit up the hill. Approach the north, allowing Wade to crisscross and get back downstairs at the final corner to take the spot away.
As you can see now, field all still together, I guess you could say, because everybody can still see each other right now. We were pretty spread out there after that first run before that caution came out. I wonder what it's like right now from the driver's seat. Everybody was just so spread out. Now it's like, all right, I'm right here. How hard do I want to push? Or do I want to save? It's just such a mind game when you got. I feel like it kind of makes it harder when you got a smaller sample size of cars because you can't get as big as runs having more cars out there.
I personally believe that even with this being the oh man, Tucker getting sideways off for turn 2. Either that or just trying to get a feel for his race car. But man, he nearly careened out of control as he kisses the wall. Saw some sparks fly off that number 1 Delara. Hopefully his ride is all good and he's got no issues.
I don't believe that.
That's Jukic closing in, who's rounding out the top 5. Give credit for Jukic. Still on the racetrack and on the lead lap after flipping while trying to come into pit road on his first green flag stop. That's been something.
Did he have a fast repair and nobody else has been using theirs?
No fast repairs from what we were told. Let me double check and make sure all this is good. Nope, I'm sorry, correction. 1 fast repair all the drivers use. So Jukic actually had to use it.
surprised nobody else has used that one fast repair.
Absolutely. When the drivers filled out their forms, they were told no fast repairs were allowed. I wonder if because of the car count, they decided to play nice to them and say, hey, you know what, we'll give you a quick extra quick repair for showing up. In fact, Tucker just ran the quickest lap with his 500 in a tow, 40.93.
Well, his car's still going straight, so that's good. We'll have to see how his race pans out because he's still one lap down.
In fact, I don't even think he had to use a quick repair one bit when he made that spin to bring out the first caution because he never even hit anything.
Yeah, he was just sitting right there next to the track.
Here we go. Jockeying around, change for second. Nate Fields pass it. Same with Braden Howard. Not sure what happened to Gilson in turn number 4, but he's lost a lot of time.
Gilson very slow. Might be losing, well, I wouldn't say another spot, but more traffic getting by. Let's see if we can catch a replay of that as the Tucker machine that is one lap down makes that pass happen.
We've got a replay of the pass. I'm not sure if we got a replay on what led to this. Still want to keep our eyes on Gilson dealing with the lap car of Steve Tucker. As Gilson's trying to reel back in that number 44. All right, let's show you and see if we had something. Well, Gilson was just really off there in turn 4.
I don't know if it got tight and had to get out of the gas. But you can see just...
I'm going to rewind this for you and see if something else had to cause this.
Enters the turn here. Going into turn 3. Oh!
He caught the grass there in turn number 3, which really darted the car up the hill and lost the momentum. That's why Fields was able to close in.
A lot of momentum.
Those onboard cameras we have here that are set up for us, Jeremy, those do some wonders.
Amazing what you can find out.
Without question. Credit to Whiplash Sim Cams for providing our cameras for all of our Maconi entertainment broadcasts. That did allow Wade to increase the lead on his now teammate Nate Fields, the delta at 1.2 seconds. So now Fields is up to second. What could that do for a driver when you gain a spot like this in a race where there's not a lot of passing opportunities now with 6 drivers on the track?
Not a lot of passing opportunities, but we also know that Nate Fields is really good at the end of these runs. This is the closest he's been to leader all night long from the beginning of the run, so we'll have to see if that long run speed can flip like a switch.
Well, he is trying to catch up to his teammate. I wonder if the two get nose and tail. I wonder if any passes are going to be made or if one decides to let the other go. We'll have to see. Fields has been quicker in the last 3 laps, at least a 10th faster on Wade, so we'll have to see how things stand as we come across the line to put 64 laps in the books here. And again, Wade has been the dominant car in this Indy 500. Only one driver has been able to try and make a pass on him, but to be particular, that was Jeremy Jukic in the 28 and Elijah Gilson in the 6.
Nate Fields, here we go. Starting to pick up speed, 2/10 faster that time. On a roll. This number 57 machine.
With the speed going into turn number 3, 224 before an earlier downshift here, Jeremy.
Yeah, I looked down. He was down to 5th way before the turn, it looked like.
A bit earlier, oh, we got trouble. Braden Howard is spun. His Indy 500's come to a close.
Another one. 500 Blues.
Was running in 3rd at the time. Nate Gilson approaching him. This may have been the first accident for contact. Nope, he let him go. Just got way too high. Up in the dust in turn 3. Caught the safer barrier. Damaged the toe leg, and that's a hard hit in that safer barrier.
Very hard contact with it inside wall. Man. Unfortunate way to end your night.
Right on board with Howard. You see there up in the light gray, there's just no grip there.
Oh, it just happens so fast. You can't save it. You gotta remember, over 200 miles an hour. One little slip is all it takes.
Left front suspension junk, side pod junk. We'll see if he maybe uses the quick repair, but chances likely for him to win Indy 500 have been dashed. And then there were 5, as the Agatha Christie novel once said.
Number 5. Yeah, there is 5 with 2 teammates battling out for the lead.
You know, makes me think of the Family Guy episode where they parodied that novel, and then there were none. I wanna. Actually, what? Never mind. There weren't as many killed on Family Guy on TV as there were on in the novel itself. So, but let's talk about Sheridan Wade here. The gap, Fields closed in a little bit, 0.7 of a second. So, Fields finding a way to improve with the toe, maybe using his tools as well at the same time.
Slowly but surely creeping into that lead. There was one lap he was slower, then the next lap he was faster again. So Nick Fields, I feel like, has it figured out at the end of these runs.
We'll be talking a lot of these other races here tonight during this Indy 500. NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series just wrapped up. If you don't want spoilers, plug your ears. But big congratulations, Roger Carruth, taking his first win of the season, second one of his career. He gets to take home Gibson Qatar. That's pretty cool to see Roger win. iRacing veteran, obviously.
Always love to see it. iRacing, the driver is going and doing big things.
Absolutely. Sim to reality, as they say. Roger, a good friend of mine as well, so always happy to see him take the win. Working lap number 70 of this Indy 500. Battle for the lead amongst the top 2. We got pit stops coming up in just about 10 laps from now. But right now, we'll take you side by side again. If a yellow breaks out, we'll break back in. Stay with us at Maconi Entertainment.
I highly recommend it. You won't find anybody as good as Jam for me.
Jam is a friendly and professional company that just doesn't do print to make sure that you grow and your business grows to the next level.
They are a very community-focused organization. They donate to every event in the area.
Every time I hand out one of Jam's printed materials, I get a ton of compliments, and that's the power of Jam printing.
One thing with Jam is it is a veteran-owned company, and that really resonates with me.
Jam Printing is like no other. Their dedication to customer service is amazing.
If you're looking to amp up your marketing, Jam Printing and Promotions is the place to go.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head to head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Sheridan Wade continues to lead the Indianapolis 500, followed by Nate Fields, Elijah Gilson, the top three. And unfortunately, Jeremy, we just had another retirement in Jeremy Jukic, and apparently we were actually the first crew that said his name right all season long. Let's see what this replay can show us with the number 28. So his right front had already been damaged. I wonder if this was something they had to do in the north shoe coming out of turn 3. Gonna rewind it here, and yep, it was.
Yep. Let's see, touch the grass. No, just looks like it missed the turn. Got it, man.
Very hard impact.
And he has retired as well.
Let's stick it right on board. I think they have caught the grass with a left rear fire.
Did not downshift. Did not downshift.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
Watch how late he downshifts.
Let's rewind that one more time. Consistently in 6, and yeah, he's a later shift than normal, and unfortunately, he was about to pay the price there.
I think you can tell he downshifted and cranked the wheel to the right, to the left there, so you kind of tell he's like, uh-oh.
And again, when your car gets into that light gray in the corners here at Indianapolis, you're about to be in for a wild ride. And that wall as well at the chute just comes at you out of nowhere. But all eyes continuing to turn onto this battle for the race lead still. Sheridan Wade, Nate Fields, gap under a second from the teammates.
Gilson and Tucker trying to stay in it. You never know. Anything can happen.
Gilson about 4 seconds behind Wade, was battling for the race lead with Wade at 1 point, and was been consistently in second until he caught the grass in turn number 4, with luckily able to hang on to his Dallara IR18, and because of that, Nate Fields took away second. And Steve Tucker just trying to hang in there, that's for sure. He's 1 lap down in this 500, and at the moment is just hoping he can find a way to get back on the lead lap. He's just hoping for hell to freeze over, I guess you could say.
Getting ready to come around here very shortly for lap 79, almost to lap 80. Creeping on that halfway point.
Remember, all the drivers pitted on lap number 49, and the window here at Indy about 30 to 35 laps. We know it's not if they pit, it's when they pit. And I would have a good feeling that Wade and Fields are gonna, that Wade would have to pit first. Fields in the draft obviously would pit next. Here's Steve Tucker, he's the first of the 4 on to pit road.
Can't remember what strategy he's on, but if I were to think about it right now, it may put him in the window to pit just a few more times and not have to pit in the last 30 laps. I'm not sure if my math is correct.
Yeah, third pit stop for the drivers here. They would be halfway through on their stops, but keep in mind, should this go green to checkers, which with the cars left in this 500, there's a likelihood it could. It could be a fuel strategy race as here comes Wade onto pit road. Remember, 60 miles an hour at the yellow cone, plus you've got the pit road speed limiter. Tucker stopped for those wondering, a 9.6 on pit road. So a great stop by the driver of the number 1. The fastest stops we've seen have been 8.3s, 8.4s. That's by the top 2 drivers.
Which they've been kind of in their own league all night regardless.
Wade's last stop, I believe, if I recall correctly, was an 8.1. I'm taking a look, I believe that does say 8.1. Pit stop is done for Sheridan Wade. He goes 9.9. Obviously, the drivers are filling up from empty to full, which is leading to the longer stops. With what we saw is you saw Gilson lock them up. Got to be very careful when it comes to that. Could get called for speeding on entry.
Yes, got to be careful with that pit limiter.
And based on what I was just hearing, I don't think Gilson has the limiter mapped on his controller. I was hearing a wee, then off, then wee, then off for like every 10th of a second or so.
Okay.
10 even.
Do it himself.
And Nate Fields, the final driver, in onto pit road. He smokes the left rear.
Quick little slide right before the line. Should be okay. Fields finally allowed a couple laps right there under that green flag. We'll see how the strategy plays out here for Fields.
Ooh, shallower turning on pit road, but was able to get the jack dropped. Just barely, and it was close to overshooting his box too. But comes out with a 9.5. In fact, the quickest stop amongst the 4 drivers left in this race.
Wade now within 20 seconds, coming around, probably going to just pat. Yep, 3, 2, 1. Going to drive around him as Fields gets up to speed.
There's Wade there in turn 2. And the 54 back out to the point here in the Indianapolis 500. Fields stays second, Gilson third. So now Fields will have about 5 miles or so of fresher Firestone tires compared to Wade. I'm not too sure how much good that can do on you, but obviously his tire pressures, though, not up to temp or up to grip compared to the first and the third place cars.
Not just yet, but we'll see. Like we said, Fields has always been right there at the end of these runs. So to see how it plays out. Fields I just kind of had my eyes on him all night. I just feel like he's the only driver right now that may have the chance to beat his teammate.
So drivers ranging from 29 to 31 laps there on on the stops. We'll step aside and take another commercial break while we are at it. Once again, Sheridan Wade leading the Indianapolis 500. Pit stops just wrapping up. Stay with us on Maconi Entertainment. We go side by side.
X terms are equal. The graphs of the 2 lines will be parallel.
You ready to get out of here? Let's go. Come on. Lincoln Tech, the school for people who hate school.
When you want to be the best, you can't settle for the rest. For anything on iRacing, there's just one name you need, Maconi.
With the launch of Maconi Entertainment and Maconi Competizone alongside Maconi Setup Shop, we now provide the best of the best in setups, paint schemes, coaching, broadcasting, and event organization.
With cars across all 4 license classes, we have what you need to hit the track with confidence. Grab a subscription and save money while going fast at MaconiSetupShop.com/subscriptions.
And remember, at Maconi Setup Shop, there are setups, but your victories.
A thriving job market and low cost of living, plus a wide range of veteran benefits, make Indiana the perfect place for veterans of the United States military to call home. InVets can help you find that home. We're an organization started by veterans to help former service members transition to civilian life in our state. InVets can help you find the community with the career opportunities, housing, schools, and amenities that fit your lifestyle. To learn more about InVets, visit us at invets.org today.
This is the closest Nate Fields has been to his teammate. The battle for the lead is on here in the Indianapolis 500. 0.3 of a second separate the top 2. Wade still out in front of Nate Fields in this one, Jeremy.
Nate Fields really starting to put that pressure on to his teammate of Sheridan Wade. Wade just been kind of having a clean arrow screen.
Oh, Fields caught the wall, though.
Yikes. Fields got to be extremely careful.
Trying to see
Definitely tell the heat is on.
Trying to see if there's damage to the right front wing. When you're closed in on a slipstream like this, you have a much bigger toe, Jeremy, as he gets sideways going to the north chute. When you get sideways, when you get up close to a driver like that, you have to drive a lot differently going into the corners compared to when you do when you're just out there by yourself like an Elijah Gilson right now.
Yep, if you've got a car in front of you, you've got no downforce. No downforce equals little to no grip. No grip means you go straight towards the wall. And a lot of these drivers definitely struggling with that tight condition off of these turns. Fields trying to regroup. We'll see if that contact with a wall, though, hurts the driving balance of the car, because we know how sensitive they are.
Yeah, I don't see anything off the front or the right rear of his ride, so I think all is good on the 57. He lost only, though, a 1/10.5 to Sheridan Wade, so give credit to Fields. That could have been a lot worse than it would have been. So, you know, we talked a lot about history of the Indy 500 in recent years. Let's go on the other side and talk about the Brickyard 400. Last year won by Kyle Larson. Unfortunately, couldn't get the double to go with his wreck in the 500. But I'm so glad as well that the Brickyard 400 was back last year, and glad to see it continue on this season. You know, I enjoyed the road course race would give credit to them for trying something like that. It worked really the first 2 years of the race, but that final year of the road course race just made you think, yeah, let's put it back on the oval. I know, you know, I know for fan attention, for the turnout, you kind of want to see it on the road and get that IndyCar NASCAR doubleheader, but no, that race deserves to be on the oval.
Yes, absolutely. Right back to where it began. Right on the oval, and I really enjoy the 1.5 or more races besides super speedways in that next gen car. I feel like the right combination. They're very close to making it happen. They're gonna have some great races week in and week out on all types of tracks. But as we come back here to where we are at Indy, here at Maconi Entertainment, this is the closest Fields has been to a leader all night long. Can he make it happen? He's under a half a second.
Yeah, Wade really good, though, when that south chute was found a way to pull away just a little bit. I think they have driven a little bit lower compared to the number 57.
57 fell back just a tad there. Within striking range, though, as Gilson, though, 8 seconds back, kind of just slowly but surely losing a little bit of time. Gilson's last lap was a 42.1. Drivers in front right now, leaders are running the 41 4s and 5s, so Gilson struggling right now with the setup on that.
Still, though, really fast lap for Sheridan Wade at the moment, 41.51 to a 41.65. Look at the last 5 laps here. You can see that Wade's just been a little bit faster, but Fields has had chances to close in, so. You know, going back to Brickyard 400 talk, you know, my favorite moments, obviously, watching Jimmy Johnson win the 4 Brickyard 400s. I know those that are Jeff Gordon fans enjoyed him watch 5. You know, there was that tie that lasted 2 years, and then Gordon had to pick up his 5th in 2014. Jeremy, what are your favorite Brickyard 400 moments?
That Ryan Newman one was probably one of my favorites.
Oh, yeah, in 2013. And
why, I don't know. I was just really happy for Ryan Newman to get another crown jewel under his belt.
Well, he is from Indiana. He did go to Purdue University for an engineering degree. But
I know somebody else, I think they went to Purdue for an engineering degree.
He started on pole position in that race, and Jimmy Johnson was the best car all day long. And then that final pit stop happened. Jimmy had a slow stop. It was a 4-tire stop. Ryan Newman decided to take 2 instead. Ryan Newman goes out and wins the Brickyard 400 in the Quicken Loans Smurfs ride. Or wins the Indy 5 or the Brickyard 400, I should say. Did I say Quicken Loans 400?
I think you did.
Yeah, that used to be the name at Michigan in June. Dang it.
way back in the day.
Yes, absolutely. So, yeah. But obviously, Tony Stewart winning his Brickyard 400 in 2005 is also a good memory. After he came so close to winning the Indy 500, like I think it was 99 when he was leading, or 2000, whichever one it was. He was leading the 500, and then his engine let go while leading. It
could have been. Not very many drivers can say that they've won the Brickyard and the 400 or the 500, but I don't think that's any of them. So, very difficult task.
Absolutely, I don't believe anyone has done that. You know, the closest someone's come to winning a 400 and a 500 would have to be Juan Pablo Montoya, and he should have had that win in 2009. I feel like, in my opinion, he got screwed over. I don't know, but that's just me.
Driver screwed over in NASCAR? Never.
But yeah, Juan Pablo had the fastest car that race too. I believe he started on pole in that run. Had as well the Target yellow lightning bolt as well. Kind of what looked like the Target cars for the 2000. Just gave you pretty good memories, and just heartbreak. So, but again, Sheridan Wade continuing to lead this version of the Indy 500. Couple laps away from heading halfway. Nate Fields running in second. Elijah Gilson third. Not a battle for third, but Gilson and Tucker racing nose to tail. Tucker currently a lap down. I believe a yellow, oh please, would put him back on the lead lap and try to make a run here to try and get past the number 6.
You never know what can happen. Maybe just fast enough. Might be able to catch the leaders now, but we'll have to see as these two drivers are about 17 seconds back from the leader.
Obviously, it would take a lot.
Yep.
Gilson does have less weight in the race car as he was the first to pit earlier, so he has less fuel in that number 1 car compared to the top 3 drivers on track, so I'm not sure how that will be a factor. Again, we start with 12 in this race. We lost a bunch of them due to accidents. And now we're starting to see Wade snake a little bit on his teammate in Fields. I think the top 2 are just having fun. I think they're just bored.
Fun. Especially being the 2 fastest drivers right now. They're kind of pulling away and at the halfway mark, coming by next time by.
Yeah, I think the top 2 are just bored right now. They got nothing to do.
You never know, another caution may come out. Tucker's not careful.
Absolutely.
Really bunched his field up again.
Next time by, we'll be halfway. It was great as well to see the Indy 500 this year get sold out. You were able to lift the blackout in Indiana. 7 million viewers watching on Fox. Fox did a great job promoting the race and increasing the view count for the Indy 500. You love to see Fox doing a great job with Indy 500 coverage, and they'll be doing a bunch more in the next few years. So I thought Will Buxton did a good job on commentary. So yeah, nice job by Fox to get that Indy 500 done, and great to see the fans show up. We're halfway home though in this version of East Coast Thunder's Indy 500. 100 up, 100 down. Pit stops coming up in just about 10 laps from now. Wade continues to dominate this one over Fields, Gilson, and Tucker. Stay with us. We're side by side on Maconi Entertainment.
I highly recommend it. You won't find anybody as good as Jam Privy.
Jam is a friendly and professional company that just doesn't do print to make sure that you grow and your business grows to the next level.
They are a very community-focused organization. They donate to every event in the area.
Every time I hand out one of Jam's printed materials, I get a ton of compliments, and that's the power of Jam printing.
One thing with Jam is it is a veteran-owned company, and that really resonates with me.
Jam Printing is like no other. Their dedication to customer service is amazing.
If you're looking to amp up your marketing, Jam Printing and Promotions is the place to go.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Halfway home here in the East Coast Thunder special of the Indianapolis 500 on Maconi Entertainment. Here's a look at what is coming up here on Maconi Entertainment. Right now, FLCC Friday Night Lights taking place in Nashville. In fact, actually, correction, that just finished. Congratulations to Bryson Hicksonbaugh on taking the win. Two broadcasts coming up here within the next few days here on Maconi Entertainment. Tomorrow night, the Full-Length Cup Challenge in Nashville. They'll have their, I believe, their 400-mile show. That is at 8:30 p.m. And then on Sunday night, at 8 o'clock, you've got the Door-to-Door Sim Racing League. That will also take place at the Music City. All things right here on Maconi Entertainment. But right now we're focused on this Indianapolis 500. 95 laps to go. Sheridan Wade has been the class of this field, as the virtual fans here are not only probably watching this race, they probably have another activity to keep them excited for this one here. As Wade and Fields, the top two teammates, are just having fun right now.
Yeah, unfortunately, these top two drivers are just driving away. I don't know what's going on with Gilson. I don't know if he's getting ready to pit or off the pace here, but losing tremendous pace.
Yeah, we got one driver on pit road as the pit stops begin. Steve Tucker, first one in. And we'll watch his stop. We've seen a lot of 9.5, 10-second pit stops when the drivers go at most 30 laps.
Over 30 laps. A cycle. This is going to be just close, possibly being about 2 laps short getting to the end.
Yeah, this is going to get really interesting here. Tucker with a 10-1. And should expect.
So I don't know if Gilson's like trying to save fuel or something, but like he's like losing a tremendous amount now.
Could be the case here, is how much time he's lost. Just went a 43.79. That last lap could make you think that he's preparing for a situation like this. And the top two may not be thinking of that.
He may be trying to do the race in reverse.
Here we go. Wade pits.
It's really crazy that Fields and Wade are not pitting together, but that just seems to be their mojo tonight.
Well, just remember, Wade has used up more fuel than Fields, because Wade's been in the clean air and forced to go full throttle. Fields is able to save less being in the draft and forced to lift more going into the corners. Time 4 for Wade. A little bit slower that last stop. Yeah. Fields to take one extra lap here.
Wade and Gilson. Just hanging on by a thread there.
Gilson, remember, yet to pit.
You can see a leader just in the background there.
Yep.
Who are side by side.
Right now, the battle for second, obviously, it's still Wade for right now when Gilson pits, and this may be the time where he comes down. Nope, we'll wait. And this will help, too. He gets the draft, so may be able to stay for a little bit more.
That's exactly what I was just thinking in my head, Marty, is Gilson's now got somebody to give him a little bit of toast, and not only will it help with speed, but it'll help save a little bit more of that fuel. But like you said, got to pit with the next few laps, and Fields doing a good job staying out as well.
Fields now trying to catch the toe off Gilson. See maybe what he can catch with the final drops in his race car. But I think he's completely lost. I think Fields is set to pit this time.
Yep.
Yep, here he comes.
Gilson staying out another one.
60 miles an hour. The limiter on. We'll watch it stop. If we get under 10 seconds here. Oh, overshot the box. You see he had to put it in reverse for just a slight moment.
That's going to hurt.
Big time. 11-7 that stop, so loses about a second or so, and now we come to Elijah Gilson. And again, go back to my point. Was on that. Nope, I think he actually does have the limiter turned on correction. So here's Gilson in the pits.
Nope, okay. Got right on it. Wow. That was a good stop. 9-7, yep.
Best stop we've seen in that stint. So he comes back out in that third position and kind of makes you 1 and 2 at the same time. Steve Tucker has been pulling in quicker laps than Gilson. Could this give Tucker an opportunity to maybe move his way up to third late in this race here, Jeremy?
Yeah. Hey, if the sheet says third place, the sheet says third place. That's a podium. You can't complain about that.
All matters where you finish, though, after 500 miles, not after, I don't know, we're past mile 250 in this race. Would have to double check my notes. We'll be approaching mile 300 in just a couple of laps from now, but Sheridan Wade about to put a lap here on Elijah Gilson. And as that happens, why don't we step aside, take another commercial break, and go side by side once again. Wade continues to lead here on Maconi Entertainment.
Terms are equal. The graphs of the two lines will be parallel.
You ready to get out of here? Let's go. Come on. Lincoln Tech, the school for people who hate school.
When you want to be the best, you can't settle for the rest. For anything on iRacing, there's just one name you need, Maconi.
With the launch of Maconi Entertainment and Maconi Competizone alongside Maconi Setup Shop, we now provide the best of the best in setups, paint schemes, coaching, broadcasting, and event organization.
With cars across all 4 license classes, we have what you need to hit the track with confidence. Grab a subscription and save money while going fast at MaconiSetupShop.com/subscriptions.
And remember, at Maconi Setup Shop, there are setups, but your victories.
thriving job market and low cost of living, plus a wide range of veteran benefits, make Indiana the perfect place for veterans of the United States military to call home. InVets can help you find that home. We're an organization started by veterans to help former service members transition to civilian life in our state. InVets can help you find the community with the career opportunities, housing, schools, and amenities that fit your lifestyle. To learn more about InVets, visit us at invets.org today.
$82 laps remain here in the Indianapolis 500 for East Coast Thunder. Mark Scala alongside Jeremy Briggs here. 4 cars remain here in this version of a spectacle, I guess you could say, as Sheridan Wade continues to lead, but Nate Fields here, after overshooting his box, what a way to come back. He has turned it up to 90 here, and it's looking for the race lead on Sheridan Wade. It's the closest he's been for the lead here, Jeremy.
I'm not going to lie, I thought he was down and out after that pit overshoot. And heck, here he comes once again, the closest he's ever been this round. What is he doing on his pits, trying to get himself closer and closer every time? Just cannot get around that draft, it's just making it so treacherous. Can he get it this run, or can he get it the next run, and maybe with a better pit stop put himself in front?
You know, here is the thing that I'm wondering. I'm going to go with the con and a pro, and I'm going to look here on Sheridan Wade's end. The con. Oh, here we go for the lead. Fields. Can he get the run to turn 1? They're wing to wing. To the lead, the 57. First lead change under a non-pit stop situation in forever.
We've got action, folks. Let's go.
Heck yeah. And now he's trying to break the draft. Wade trying to fight back. They're just having fun. They're side by side to turn number 3. Wade takes the lead back.
He says, not so fast, I want it. Fields still right there on his tail, though. Can he try to do the crossover? No, he gets a little bit loose. He's going to have another draft down the front straightaway. He's going to go to the outside where the outside seems to prevail through the turn. Let's see if it works this time.
Oh, longer way around for Fields. I don't think that's going to work, though. They're just having fun right now.
I think Fields has given him a little bit too much room. I think he comes out about a half a car length and make that pass a little bit more competitive on the outside.
He's back in the draft of Wade once again. But as I was going to say, I think there's a con and a pro here on Wade's end before Fields took the lead. Here's the con. I think Wade was able to let Fields come back in. But here's the pro. He's lifting off the throttle. He's saving fuel at the same time, trying to do that, trying to make it to 200. As Fields goes for the lead once again.
Still continuing to battle here for this lead. Man, Fields and Wade, even though they're teammates, they're doing a great job of just being clean and having fun. They're still, once again, side by side into turn 3. Who's going to prevail?
Wade very good down the back chute into that second half of the track. As for Fields, he's he's much better up front. And now he tried to diamond, a small diamond through 3 and 4. Entered high and exited low. Let's see if this works out for Fields. Under 80 laps to go. Downstairs for the race lead. Back out in front, the 57. Now the lead changers are starting to amp up. Steve, I know you're watching. You may be in your words bored to tears. However, though, these top 2 are still battling for the race lead. This is fun.
Hey, Steven, the way these two are battling, you never know. You might get yourself back on a lead lap and be one of the two left. The way this night's been going.
Wade takes the lead back.
Maybe Wade just wanted to give Fields a little bit a taste of the lead. He's like, okay, I've had enough.
Possibly give him a chance to lead some laps in the Indy 500, but Fields wants it back again.
Outside just works just a little bit. Just a little too far out there, obviously. And back inside for Wade. Like a spotter there for a second.
Wade back out in front into turn number 3. These drivers are trying to reflect the DW12 package. That's one of my favorite IndyCar packages ever in the Indy 500 because it was just so easy to get a slipstream off the other. Fields takes the lead.
Close. Out there so close, it might just continue to swap positions here. Might come down to the next pit stops. You know, it seems like every time we pit, Fields is closer, Fields is closer. Now we pit, he's found himself in the lead. So this next pit, do we find Fields even farther ahead? There's only time will tell as he does a pretty good job there getting 2/10 on Wade.
Wade lifted there surprisingly, but I wonder again if at the same time, maybe considering trying to fuel save. By the way, should mention too, these are the only two drivers on the lead lap. Gilson's gone a lap down after pitting again. He's trying to conserve fuel here, and soon we could have a battle for third between Gilson and Tucker. 10 seconds separate them. Here's a look at the comparison. Tucker picking up 2 seconds each lap, so without question, Jeremy Gilson trying to save. Let's go back to the front, though.
Bill, still waiting Fields. As Fields, though, leading a few more laps this time, but Wade still within striking range. But maybe Fields, Fields have it potentially figured out. He's trying to do everything he can to break that dread. Oh, a little contact with the wall.
They're just having fun. They're just having fun with each other. They're probably together on a Discord call right now, one-on-one, just having fun. It's like, yeah, let's just give the fans some action.
We gotta give us something to talk about here. I love their paint schemes, by the way. I love how they're inverted.
It looks
colors.
You know, it looks a lot like one, or if not the other. Looks a lot like the old golf schemes, like you saw in like F1 back in the day.
Oh, yep.
I gotta remember.
They're the same but different. It's easy to tell the difference.
I'm trying to see what car was that. Well, I know McLaren did a throwback livery, and same with Williams at Monaco. Livery of the Porsche 917 at Le Mans. I know that. And a Ford GT, Porsche 917 again. Golf with McLaren in the first F1 entry. And now they've got the deal with Williams. And by the way, just finished building the Lego Williams car earlier today. Right now is my 6th Lego F1 car finished up.
Rocking the Legos, huh? That sounds fun.
I'm not really a big Lego guy, but however, though, because it's really F1 and the fact that if you build a Lego F1 car, it's actually cheaper than a 164 die-cast or whatever you get out of a racetrack, like miles cheaper. I can just build that up and it works good.
Do you think Wade is finally falling off a little bit?
Maybe, but again, like I mentioned, saving fuel here at the same time, that's potentially the thing. Let's look at the lap times here of the top two. Wade's been slower in the last 5 laps, so giving Fields a chance to maybe lead at this one right now. We'll have to see as we're 10 laps away from another round of green flag pit stops. We'll step aside once again as Fields and Wade battling for the race lead, while Gilson and Tucker a lap behind. Stay with us on Maconi Entertainment.
I highly recommend it. You won't find anybody as good as Jam City.
Jam is a friendly and professional company that just doesn't do print to make sure that you grow and your business grows to the next level.
They are a very community-focused organization. They donate to every event in the area.
Every time I hand out one of Jam's printed materials, I get a ton of compliments, and that's the power of Jam printing.
One thing with Jam is it is a veteran-owned company, and that really resonates with me.
Jam Printing is like no other. Their dedication to customer service is amazing.
If you're looking to amp up your marketing, Jam Printing and Promotions is the place to go.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head to head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Working lap number 135 here at the Indianapolis 500 for East Coast Thunder. Couple laps away from pit stops. As Fields and Wade, again, continue to dominate the action. Wade, after being about maybe 1 second behind on Fields, has regained some ground on the 57. And pit stops now underway. Steve Tucker, the first of the four to come in. He was actually able to gain some ground on Elijah Gilson, because remember, Jeremy, the 6 car continuing to save fuel here throughout this.
Trying to do what he can here to get himself in a good part of the strategy to maybe flip themselves in front of the leader. But you can see Tucker on pit road. We'll see when Gibson decides to make that same decision.
Trying to stretch some things out on economy runs for the last 3 stops here, but I feel like you may want to save on the final stop and just go in the first 5. So good stop for Tucker. He goes 9.9 to 10 seconds. And now we wait for the first 3 to come down pit road.
We'll see if Wade stays out this time, as Wade has usually been coming in first because Wade has been the leader. But Sheridan Wade been pretty dominant all night. Now his teammate in front of him. Let's see how these two fight it out to the end.
Fields
closing in at about 60 to go.
Fields increasing the lead to about 0.4 of a second. I believe at the same time they're just trying to set up here for pit stops. Howie checking in, and he's got a specific question for you, Jeremy. We having fun?
Oh, we're having a blast, Howie. I hope Howie had a blast on his.
Yeah, we're having fun. Yeah, we're having fun right now as we are about 3/5 of the way through here in this Indy 500. So we're just waiting to get pit stops here, going for the top 3. Makes you wonder here, Jeremy. Is again we're having some fun. What's on your sim rig at the moment?
What's on my sim rig?
Yeah, what do you have for a setup? I don't think I've ever asked you that before.
Well, I'm glad that you asked because I don't really know. I just got some Thrustmaster things. I got the load cell pedals, and then the I think it's the higher end of the TSX 40 wheel bases, I believe.
Okay.
I think that's what this one is. I don't know.
All right.
Let me go look. Hang on.
Oh, he's gonna go look.
To it.
Yeah. You better be right next to it. You're doing a broadcast for crying out loud.
It's a TSXW Racer Thrustmaster base.
Not bad. All right, so I have a Fanatec CSL DD. And I got 2 rims with it. I've got the McLaren GT3 and I've got the NASCAR wheel rim. So the GT3 I use for road and open wheel racing as Wade comes down pit road first to come in. And then for the NASCAR wheel, I use for obviously oval and dirt racing. Paired with that, I've got the Fanatec, I believe they're the Club Sport V3s. And they're the inverted ones. So they feel really nice when you're driving on like oval track racing stuff. And then I've got that hooked up with the Thrustmaster gear shifter. I don't know. It's like the only gear shifter that they have for Thrustmaster. So all that combined, that's a fun little setup. I'm going to be driving on in the next few days, running, testing out for Watkins Glen for the 6-hour race because I'm going to probably be likely running with a bunch of guys.
Nice. That'll be fun. Oh, field's coming in hot. He drove it right in there real deep. Trying to finish out these 60 laps. Split this in half.
Absolutely.
Would be my guess.
After this, everyone will have 1 stop to go to the finish.
I can't believe it, Marty. We're almost to the final pit stop already.
Fields overshot it. I believe he did that again. Second straight time he's overshot.
But he took the lead last time, so let's see if it pans out again for him again this time.
Wade just came across the start-finish line. Here he is, coming off turn number 1.
Ooh, Wade is going to get it.
Yep, Sheridan Wade.
Quite a bit.
Back to the race lead of the Indy 500, and now he can maybe set up a fuel save situation. There is Elijah Gilson, who again 1 lap down has been saving this entire race.
Trying to do a different strategy. If you follow the leader, you're just going to follow the leader.
Absolutely. He's gone nearly 30 laps. He's at 28, so still has a couple of laps before it's time to pit. While we wait for Gilson, I just asked you about what you're rocking for wheel and pedal sets. What's in the PC for you?
In the PC, well, it's a computer.
A computer. That is true. It is a computer. I'd be surprised if you're just rocking an iPad with a headset. Oh, Tucker in the wall.
I mean, that's something that I could do, right? Just rock a tablet and headset.
Yeah.
Give me 5 seconds.
I mean, one of these days, someone's got to create a XLR to USB-C adapter so you could just plug that in onto an iPad or an iPhone and then boom. I know it's possible to use a hand mic on an iPhone.
Okay.
So I believe you do the same thing with a headset too, so I don't know.
Possibilities are endless, right?
Absolutely. So yeah, I'm rocking a computer as well. I don't know if I can convert the computer to anything. Probably a power supply too. So yeah, it charges my stuff too. So I mean, you never know. So Gilson over 30 laps, by the way, into this run, and Fields now 1 second behind Sheridan Wade as we speak.
That's one of the bigger leads in a while.
Absolutely. Howie says the truck race at Nashville was on the boring side, but we had a full grid.
Yeah.
Hey, Roger Carruth won, so when Roger wins or a Spire car wins, everybody wins. So here's Gilson on the pit road. So Gilson pulls into his pit box. Quickest amongst the stops right now, Wade is 9.7. We'll see what Gilson does here. A 9.9. The 11, and because of that, he actually just lost third spot. Steve Tucker. And all this, we just had a change for third on the track for the first time in forever. So,
close battle too. You never know.
Yeah, Steve Tucker takes the third spot away. Everyone's pitted. They all have one stop left to go. Sheridan Wade leads by a 0.6 of a second on Nate Fields. We'll step aside. We'll go side by side. Once again, stay with us at Maconi Entertainment.
X terms are equal. The graphs of the two lines will be parallel.
You ready to get out of here? Let's go. Come on. Lincoln Tech, the school for people who hate school.
When you want to be the best, you can't settle for the rest. For anything on iRacing, there's just one name you need, Maconi.
With the launch of Maconi Entertainment and Maconi Competizone alongside Maconi Setup Shop, we now provide the best of the best in setups, paint schemes, coaching, broadcasting, and event organization.
With cars across all 4 license classes, we have what you need to hit the track with confidence. Grab a subscription and save money while going fast at MaconiSetupShop.com/subscriptions.
And remember, at Maconi Setup Shop, there are setups, but your victories.
A thriving job market and low cost of living, plus a wide range of veteran benefits, make Indiana the perfect place for veterans of the United States military to call home. InVets can help you find that home. We're an organization started by veterans to help former service members transition to civilian life in our state. InVets can help you find the community with the career opportunities, housing, schools, and amenities that fit your lifestyle. To learn more about InVets, visit us at invets.org today.
We've passed the 3/4 mark here in the Indianapolis 500. Actually approaching the 3/4 mark here with 50 laps to go. Marty Sakala alongside Jeremy Briggs with you on the call. Battle for the lead is on. Nate Fields underneath, trying to get back to the lead after his second straight overshoot through his pit box. Side by side, but look at Wade fighting back here.
Every time we're sitting here saying, oh, Fields all overshoots his pits, he's out. Guess what? He finds himself back in the lead, but guess what? Wade says, not so fast. I'm going to take another shot at you. Go to the inside, try to take that position back through turns 3 and 4. Fields really almost makes contact, if not making contact with the outside wall.
Way too close to call. I don't know if he clipped the safety barrier or not, but now he's trying to reel in Wade while the 54 car trying to break the draft. Can't make the move in turn 1. He's trying to set up for turn 3 possibly.
Can't believe we're already under our final 50 laps here of this 200 lap event. Wade and Fields been duking it out up front all night. Tucker just getting up to 3rd. Gilson is in 4th.
So, while we watch this race for the lead, as Fields closes in, I got some random facts for you about Indianapolis that you won't believe. Actually, hold that. Fields about to maybe make a move. There he goes. And Fields. Ooh, did he clear? Yes, he did. Clears way to lead the Indy 500 again. All right, so you want some stupid but true facts about Indianapolis? Hold that thought. Wade for the race lead. I'll take that as a yes. Every time I try to say something, the teammates decide to change the lead.
Just the TV just becomes interesting.
Absolutely. All right. First fact. You could technically run a marathon at Indy by just doing over 10.4 laps. You'd also hate life at the same time. The infield obviously is so big, people have gotten lost in it inside the Indy 500. Like full-grown adults in broad daylight.
Scary.
Well, obviously it is, and probably the most common people that have been gotten lost, probably the ones that go inside the snake pit and listen to EDM and then are so drunk they don't even know where to go.
I didn't even know that they did that there. Is that like a normal thing?
You didn't know that? You didn't know about the snake pit? That's been a common thing for many years.
They just have a whole concert going on in the middle of the race?
Absolutely. Think of it as if... I'm trying to think, how do I put this? Think of it as Woodstock, but EDM music instead. And instead of marijuana, it's beer. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So think of it as that. So, all right, another fun fact.
I'm ready.
This is probably a more common fun fact. There's an actual golf course inside the Speedway, Brickyard Crossing.
Yes.
And
yes.
No, it's not uncommon to hear a race car scream by while you're trying to putt. But obviously the golf course is closed during the Indy 500.
What?
In the early 1900s, when bricks were being laid, they used donkeys and mules to drag the brick carts. These animals were technically the first crews, the pit crews, at the track.
First official cruise, huh?
Yes, yes. The original track surface in 1909 was so bad that tires exploded and cars flew into fences. At least 5 people died during testing. Management called it a learning experience. Obviously, we know the winners always kiss the bricks at IMS, but the bricks at the start-finish line, some people decide to lick them, like with their actual tongue. No one really knows why. No one really knows why. It's just a thing, you know. Famous lips, unknown germs. So a couple of pace cars have crashed as well under laps at IMS. During the 1971 pace car crash, the car plowed into a photographer's scaffold. Everyone survived somehow. You want to know who drove? Just a local car dealer who just volunteered. He probably said, "Hey, can I drive in the pace car IMS? Can I pace the leader?" Okay, then I'll just crash it. And just create a crazy moment at IMS that year.
That's insane.
Absolutely.
That's one I did not know about.
Besides all these races, the 400, the 500, the IMSA, the GT3 race, heck, even MotoGP in the past, the track has also hosted an air balloon race, police canine dog demos, and a Rolling Stones concert. It's pretty much just a racetrack with vibes to it.
Yeah, right?
Think of it as like your dream racetrack all in one. Imagine you could live in it. I don't know. It seems like a thing Penske would do. Obviously, it's a thing that the Holman and George family would do before they sold it to Roger Penske.
The whole snake pit thing is wild.
Yeah, it is. All right.
Do you have any more facts?
Yes, I do actually have some fun facts about the snake pit.
Oh,
So-
about the snake pit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Started in the 1970s as a place where fans got absolutely obliterated on beer and sunburn and forgot there was a race happening. The early scenes of it included mud wrestling, illegal drag races, and motorcycles jumping over cars. That's just totally safe and normal. So, the modern snake pit, more organized, now a massive EDM party like I mentioned, headlined in Turn 3. People show up in banana suits, wedding dresses, animal onesies, and American flag stuff. American flag outfits. That's just before 10 a.m. And it opens at 7 a.m. and people are already drunk by then.
Or do they not go to bed yet?
You'll get blank stares if you ask someone there who is on pole position.
That I can see.
Local legend says if you survive the snake pit without losing your phone, wallet, or dignity, you're eligible for statehood. It's basically Coachella with more NASCAR energy and fewer laws. Meanwhile, I think in this Indy 500 right now, I see somewhere in Turn 3, actually in this iRace, a guy in a Spider-Man onesie crowd surfing to Steve Aoki. So, I'll give you more fun facts on Indy, more random facts in just a little bit. Let's step aside and go to break, because when we come back, we got the final round of pit stop. So, stay with us on Maconi Entertainment. Sheridan Wade still leading on Nate Fields.
I highly recommend it. You won't find anybody as good as Jam for me.
Jam is a friendly and professional company that just doesn't do print to make sure that you grow and your business grows to the next level.
They are a very community-focused organization. They donate to every event in the area.
Every time I hand out one of Jam's printed materials, I get a ton of compliments, and that's the power of Jam printing.
One thing with Jam is it is a veteran-owned company, and that really resonates with me.
Jam Printing is like no other. Their dedication to customer service is amazing.
If you're looking to amp up your marketing, Jam Printing and Promotions is the place to go.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head to head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series in officially licensed cars engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Coming to the final pit stops here in this Indy 500. Sheridan Wade, Nate Fields, the top two. The window opens on lap number 70. It's lap 167. We saw Steve Tucker come in. Lap 161, he'll have to make one more stop. But lap 170, that's when that window opens where you can go the distance here, Jeremy.
With that final pit stop just around the corner, what is Nate Fields going to have to do to get back in front of Sheridan Wade here? Teammates been duking it out all night long. This is going to become the money stop, as we've seen Nate Fields kind of having some struggles on pit road the last couple stops.
We'll have to see indeed. Wade dominating on Nate Fields here at the moment. Some more fun facts about Indy that Ron is actually sharing with us. The balloon race I talked about, that was the first ever race in Indy as the track was still being constructed. Everyone says Ray Haroon won the first ever races. Here goes Sheridan Wade onto pit road. We'll see where Nate Fields ends up. This is the money stop right now for everyone. First ever car race owner, for those wondering, was Bob Berman in 1909. And then Tony Holman, who bought the track in 1945 and ran it until 1907 when Mary Fendrick Holman took it over. Sheridan Wade, by the way, goes 10-2 on pit road. Actually, correction, I got a 998 on pit road, so a good stop for him. So that comes on lap 168. So that is
really close.
Very interesting. That's very close to going the distance. Nate Fields on lap 170. So we know with Fields, he can go the distance here. He'll be able to gas it throughout the rest of this one. Wade will have to lift it sometimes.
Let's see when Fields decides to make that left-hand turn down pit road. Not yet, does not look like it. Trying to go another 2.5 miles around this track on this fuel mileage strategy.
By the way, I did want to ask you too, Jeremy, what'd you have for dinner tonight for the heck of it?
For dinner tonight, I actually had leftovers because I was actually in the middle of a broadcast. Yeah.
Okay.
I was in the middle of a broadcast when the family had dinner, so.
I had a bacon cheeseburger tonight. It was delicious. Had some ketchup and mayo on it. Yesterday I had a cup and char pepperoni pizza with bacon on it and some garlic parm chicken wings, and this was Jeff's pizza tonight. Apparently he had some pizza too. There you go. We'll show it for you. There it is. Apparently he's going to bring us some slices up here.
Yeah, hurry up, Jeff. We're hungry.
Yeah, come on. We need a late night snack. We need to teach Jeff about how we do it in Buffalo, pepperoni. Now, that's just regular pepperoni. Cup and char pepperoni is how we do it in Buffalo. It's basically smaller pepperoni, but after you make it, it's all cupped up and charred on the outside. It makes the pepperoni more crispier. It's delicious. Fields, his stop, 9.72, better stop than Wade.
He's been struggling with his entry into pits, and it looks really good right there. So let's see how they blend in.
Let's see where Wade is. He's got a draft as well off of Tucker that could help him out. Who takes the lead off it too? This is going to be tight. And it's Wade out in front
Wade.
thanks to the draft. But now,
Wade looks like he's trying to hold that draft.
yeah, and Wade has the grip too. Fields going to take a lap or two for the tire pressures to come up to temp. Again, we know.
Lap or two.
And again, we know Fields can go the distance here, Jeremy. Wade lifting to help him out with better mileage. Stuck behind Tucker.
I think that's what he's doing right now, is trying to save a little bit of that fuel. Because like you said, I think he's just really close to that edge on fuel. So maybe doing some reassurance right here. As you can see, he looks in his mirrors. Fields machine is there, who we know is going to be good on fuel to the end.
Ooh, Tucker scraped the wall there.
Lap car, yeah.
Forced Wade to left. Fields actually losing some time to Wade just a little bit at 0.3 of a second. Elijah Gilson now on pit road. He'll be good to go the distance. Ooh, a little higher exit for Fields off turn 2.
Keep an eye on that lap traffic. I don't know if it decides to get out of the way or if Tucker is keeping it interesting right here, as it looks like they're still using him for the
Here we
draft.
go. Here we go. Fields makes a run. Oh, Wade makes a run. Just about 3 wide for just a moment. And Fields. Oh, contact with Tucker. Is he up on the wall? He is. And that damaged the right front. Bent it up a little bit. Fields said it was time to make the move, and he just did that. Now tries to break the draft off of Wade.
Extremely tight battle here, coming around to 25 laps to go.
Gonna be a good battle to the end here in this Indianapolis 500. Fields and Wade, that's your top 2. We're going to step aside, go to another break. When we come back, we are taking you to the finish of this Indy 500. Who amongst the teammates are going to win this one? Find out in just a moment.
X terms are equal. The graphs of the 2 lines will be parallel.
You ready to get out of here? Let's go. Come on. Lincoln Tech, the school for people who hate school.
When you want to be the best, you can't settle for the rest. For anything on iRacing, there's just one name you need, Maconi.
With the launch of Maconi Entertainment and Maconi Competizone alongside Maconi Setup Shop, we now provide the best of the best in setups, paint schemes, coaching, broadcasting, and event organization.
With cars across all 4 license classes, we have what you need to hit the track with confidence. Grab a subscription and save money while going fast at MaconiSetupShop.com/subscriptions.
And remember, at Maconi Setup Shop, there are setups, but your victories.
A thriving job market and low cost of living, plus a wide range of veteran benefits, make Indiana the perfect place for veterans of the United States military to call home. InVets can help you find that home. We're an organization started by veterans to help former service members transition to civilian life in our state. InVets can help you find the community with the career opportunities, housing, schools, and amenities that fit your lifestyle. To learn more about InVets, visit us at invets.org today.
We are taking you to the finish commercial-free with 21 laps to go in the East Coast Thunder Indianapolis 500. Marty Scala alongside Jeremy Briggs and our entire Maconi Entertainment crew is trying to keep you entertained throughout the rest of this one. Nate Fields leads Sheridan Wade with 21 laps to go. Final stops. Let's take a look at when they pitted. The final time. Nate Fields, lap 171, his final stop. Sheridan Wade, final stop for him was lap 168. We know Fields can go the distance here. He can go without a pit stop. But what can Sheridan Wade do? He's in the draft, and luckily he'll be able to lift more throughout the corners where he should be able to go to the finish, Jeremy.
Fingers crossed he can go to the finish, but like you said, he's in that draft. He's been in that draft since he got out of the pits. So he's probably doing everything he can to save as much fuel as he needs to get himself to the end for the Sheridan Wade machine. Gonna give a shout out to Elijah Gilson, still out here trucking along with Steve Tucker. Those are our third and fourth drivers respectively right now.
Tucker had
to
make an extra pit stop as he could not go the distance, and if it weren't for that, we could maybe be talking about Tucker in third over Elijah Gilson. Here's the race, though, for the lead. Fields breaking the draft of Sheridan Wade, just trying to defend. And he's doing that quite well. Give credit to Fields for that. Because as we've seen, Wade better on the back stretch. Fields better on the front stretch. The move is made here, possibly. It's not.
Still continuing to just be right in the tire tracks of Nate Fields is Wade.
There we go.
Oh, a little bit of break of the draft there, was able to make it successful. Left, right, doing everything they can to try to make it. To try to break that draft, make his fuel mileage worse, and try to break away a little bit. But the runs at the end of these straightaways and right here behind somebody are just so good.
Wade trying to slap the slipstream here. A later shift into sixth. But he decided he had a small little lift, decided not to make the move to the inside for the race lead. Let's see how he sets it up. Ooh, second groove this time instead. That is big for Fields. That'll help him out a lot. I think it's just Wade trying to prepare himself for turn one.
Maybe Wade is trying to diagnose which direction he's going to need to go now to try to make this pass happen. Where can he set himself up to try to have a good run down the straightaway? As you can see right now, just a touch too far away right now to make a good run. It happens just a little bit too late. Right now, not making the move. We'll have to see what happens later in the run.
He's also at the same time trying to set his arc up as well for the entry to the corners here in turns 1 and 3. Don't think he'll be able to get a good draft off of Fields this time. Ooh, nice toe to turn 3. Does he look? Not yet. But here with the final lap, he looks. Better safe than sorry to back out of it. And again, we should mention, for those that are just joining us now, Wade has been the quickest driver all race long. He's right there on the rear wing, but decides to left. He's trying to make the move, right place, right time. Very surprised he didn't go for it. Because I think with all the lifting he's been doing, I think he could be good enough to go the distance.
Yep, exactly it, Marty. Like you said, a lot of lifting right here. Been in the draft. Should we go to the end? Or does he just want to set it up for a late pass? That way Fields doesn't have time to get his car set up to just counter that pass that he just made.
I think it's going to be for a late pass, but you don't want to make it way too late. That could risk a caution flag. You may want to do it with 5 to go. Side drafts off of Fields, and Sheridan Wade takes the lead with 14 to go in the Indianapolis 500.
Proved us wrong.
Now he's trying to check out the hotel. The gap, about 5 car lengths on Nate Fields down the backstretch. And now he snakes. Trying to break the draft off Nate Fields, but he's scrubbing off speed. at the same time. The gap at 0.2 of a second.
Did Wade know he was going to be this much faster? We'll have to see because he just took off like a rocket once he passed him.
The fuel mixtures are actually different all around. I want to ride on board here with this spot.
Just dig it.
Visor cam from
Right
Nate
there in front of
Fields. Nope, never mind. I was misspoken. I saw the 2 on the bottom right. I thought for a moment that was his fuel mixture. Nope, it's not. That's the position he's currently in right now. Wade leads. Fields is second. This time by 188 laps. Completed the Indianapolis 500. 12 to go. And Sheridan Wade is trying to do everything possible to break off the slipstream of Nate Fields.
Oh, Sheridan Wade is doing everything he can to break the slipstream. Fields is trying to do everything he can to get back in that slipstream to get back around him, but man, it's just not really gaining too much. So
He's got to run. He's got to run. Makes the move underneath for the race lead. Fields drives it in and goes back out front as we come to 11 to go. And that's Wade's best corner so far tonight.
Now, when does Sheridan Wade make the pass back? Because they saw it only took about 3 laps for Nate Fields to make that pass back. Once he got it set up just right. Got to be extremely patient here and not make it too early.
East Coast Thunder didn't have the car count that they expected for tonight. But it's coming down to a good finish between teammates. Nate Fields, Sheridan Wade. Fields started 3rd tonight while Wade started from pole position. It'll be 10 fingers in the air from Barney the Flagman. 10 to go here in the Indianapolis 500.
And laps the distance. We're now where the money matters. No pit stops, no strategy stuff to worry about. Just making the pass when it counts. Oh, Wade gets a little tight off of 2. We'll see if he can get another run down the backstretch.
Cuts the gap to 0.2 of a second.
Stalking his prey.
Under 25 miles remain in the Indianapolis 500. 190 laps complete. This time it'll be 191 on top the flag stand. You see the last 5 laps and how they look. Who was better this time through? It was Fields who picked up a 10th that last time by. And in the words of Herringer, the teammates are going to fight it out.
Loose again for Wade out of that turn. Seems to be struggling at the moment.
The straights, though, are just saving him. Picking up the slipstream, gaining speed, but went through the second groove there in turns 3. That's not what you want there if you're Sheridan. 8 to go at Indy for Nate Fields.
And out of that, all that domination out of Sheridan Wade, Nate Fields making this look real easy right now.
Oh, Wade caught the wall.
Wade.
Just caught the end of the
Big time
safer
on the
barrier. I think he just caught it with the side pod. With the carbon fiber floor all the way to the side pod. I don't know if that did any damage. I see a paint scuff, though. But scrubbed off a lot of speed. And Fields has
Definitely
increased the
pushing
lead
hard.
big time. 0.6 of a second with 7 laps to go. Although Wade only lost 4 thousandths that last time by.
Which is surprising, but gotta give it to him.
He's making the
Still within
adjustments to
striking
his
range.
tools. Better arc there in turn 4 for Fields. And now it's draft breakup time. 6 to go.
Wade pushing it so hard, the center turns, washing just a little bit on the exits, but he's there. He's gonna be just
bag hit! And there goes the right front. No!
iRacing lied to us right there.
How? How?
He's hurt bad though.
Wow.
He's
yeah.
real big time.
He's having issues steering. I think the right front took some wear. I don't see anything bent up too much, but that may have done some damage off the front wing. 5 to go at Indy for Nate Fields. The gap, though, is still close, though. About 8 car lengths between the top 2.
Trying to give it all he's got right here.
Well, look at the gap. That just looks like an eternity between Fields and Wade. Oh, look how much he's starting up. The dominant car in the Indy 500 in a whirlwind of trouble. 10 miles remain at Indy, 490 complete. It's 1 qualifying attempt, 4 laps. What you got? Fields is trying to check out after a car that was consistently running in the 3rd spot all night long. It was Wade and Gilson throughout the first half. Then Gilson had the moment in turn 4. Fields pounced, took away 2nd, and Wade brought him into the picture.
Drivers did everything right to get themselves in this position. Fields doing everything even better when it counts, even with having those pit stop troubles, to get himself to have a good pit stop at the end, to then find himself in front of his teammate, and now almost a 1 second, almost a 1 second lead to finish off this 500-mile race.
Look at this. Look how much Wade is fading away from this.
Fields has to do right here is just finish each lap up to speed. Don't have to push it hard. Just make no wall contact, and you should be good to go.
2 laps remaining for Fields and Wade. Indy 1 looking to go 1-2. Fields is looking for the win and possibly considering what he'll buy for milk at the grocery store in the morning. I'm a 2% guy. What about you?
Oh, whole milk for sure.
You're a whole milk guy? All right. I used to be whole.
I prefer straight out of the cows, probably.
Straight out of the cow? I'd probably enjoy buttermilk. I'm not going to lie. I don't know. But
guess what? We got a white flag in the air.
Hallelujah. White flag waves. Final lap of the Indianapolis 500 for Nate Fields, who is, again, a consistent 3rd place car and found speed in the second half. Closed in on his teammate Sheridan Wade. The two traded the lead and put on a great show. But in the end, there could only be one winner. Wade's is 1.25 miles away from being Indy 500 champion. The driver of the Indy 1, Arctic Wolf, number 57, finds his way through 3 and 4. Into the home stretch he comes. Nate Fields, an Indianapolis 500 champion, to the twin checkers. He does it. Big congratulations to Nate Fields and the Indy 1 team. Wade 2nd. Gilson 3rd. Tucker 4th. Wade comes up to show his respect. A great race between teammates.
And a dominant performance.
Absolutely. As the two led just about every lap except for maybe at most 10, I'd have to guess, when they have pit stops and a restart.
Heck, I think they still led even with the pit stops.
Absolutely. So probably would have to be maybe 5 or so. So holy moly! Tucker just trying to have fun to the camera. He's like, all right, let's
He's like,
explode
all right.
this.
With that sweet looking ride.
Absolutely. They'll pose and we'll go to break. When we come back, official results and final thoughts. Stay with us on Maconi Entertainment.
When you want to be the best, you can't settle for the rest. For anything on iRacing, there's just one name you need, Maconi.
With the launch of Maconi Entertainment and Maconi Competizone alongside Maconi Setup Shop, we now provide the best of the best in setups, paint schemes, coaching, broadcasting, and event organization.
With cars across all 4 license classes, we have what you need to hit the track with confidence. Grab a subscription and save money while going fast at MaconiSetupShop.com/subscriptions.
And remember, at Maconi Setup Shop, there are setups, but your victories.
Nate Fields, bring them up at the Yard of Bricks. He's the Indianapolis 500 champion. He and his Indy 1 teammate, Sheridan Wade, 1-2, just the class of the field here tonight. Congratulations to them as we pull up the official results from the evening. Nate Fields, the winner by 1.2 seconds, a time of just about 2 hours and 26 minutes and 44 seconds for 500 miles. Elijah Gilson third, Steve Tucker fourth, the 4 drivers on the track. Out of the race from 5 through 12, Jeremy Jukic, Braden Howard, Will Stearns, Ray Lenning, William Krushka, Raymond Kimmel, Justin Hester, and Trent Thompson, all in that order. It's been a wild weekend of racing, and appreciate East Coast Thunder for having us on Maconi Entertainment. And now we turn things over to the rest of the weekend. Full-length Cup Challenge in Nashville and door-to-door also in Nashville. So we sign off here. Final thoughts before we sign off here, Jeremy.
I gotta tell you what, the teammates right there, they put on a great battle, gave us some great entertainment here tonight. Awesome to cover the East Coast Thunder here tonight. Had a great time working alongside of you. Appreciate anybody that stopped into the chat tonight. And yeah, excited for the next one.
Well, Jeremy, it's been a fun one being a part of this one with an Indy 500, a 200 lap, 500 mile showdown, and in the end, it came to a pair of teammates. Appreciate you joining us on Maconi Entertainment all night long for action. On behalf of Jeremy, I'm Marty Sakala signing off. Congratulations to Nate Fields as he wins the East Coast Thunder Indianapolis 500. The following has been a broadcast of Maconi Entertainment, your home for iRacing action. So long.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel.